In today's world, we are bombarded by images of social success. Endless streams of photos show smiling faces surrounded by large groups of friends. Social media platforms measure popularity through likes, followers, and connections, subtly urging us to believe that the more friends we have, the more successful we are. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what if this is not true? What if the constant chase for more friends is not a sign of fulfillment, but rather a distraction from something deeper? Stoicism, an ancient philosophy founded over 2 millennia ago, invites us to consider a different perspective. What if fewer friends could mean more strength, more wisdom, and more independence? The Stoics, known for their profound reflections on life, believed that true happiness and contentment come not from external validation, but from inner virtue. This philosophy challenges the norms of our hyper-connected world, encouraging us to seek quality over quantity in our relationships. 1. The misconception of friendship quantity. Society has conditioned us to associate social success with the number of people we know. It tells us that having many friends means we are loved, accepted, and important. But is this truly the case? Let us pause and consider, how many of these connections bring genuine joy and fulfillment? How many of these so-called friendships inspire us to become better versions of ourselves? The Stoics believed that external measures of success, such as wealth, fame, and yes, even a large social circle, are fleeting and unreliable. In their view, what matters is not how many friends we have, but the quality of those relationships. Have you ever felt alone in a crowded room? This experience highlights an important truth. Quantity does not equate to depth. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, wrote extensively about the nature of friendship. He observed that many people pursue friendships for selfish reasons, seeking pleasure, validation, or convenience. But true friendship, according to Seneca, is founded on virtue. It is a bond that helps both individuals grow in wisdom and character. Such friendships are rare and precious, requiring time and effort to cultivate. Why then do we chase after superficial connections? Perhaps it is the fear of solitude that drives us. Yet, Stoicism teaches us to embrace solitude as an opportunity for self-reflection and growth. When we learn to find contentment within ourselves, we become less dependent on the approval of others. This independence is not a sign of loneliness, but a testament to inner strength. Marcus Aurelius, another great Stoic, famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This principle applies equally to our social lives. We cannot control how many people like or admire us, but we can control how we perceive and value our relationships. By focusing on what truly matters, virtue and personal growth, we free ourselves from the pressure to conform to societal expectations. As you reflect on your own friendships, ask yourself, do they align with your values? Do they inspire you to be virtuous, courageous, and wise? If not, is it time to reevaluate their importance in your life? True friends are not just companions. They are partners in your journey toward becoming the best version of yourself. In our next section, we will delve deeper into the core principles of Stoicism and explore how these ancient teachings provide a roadmap for living a fulfilling and virtuous life. Let us now turn our focus inward, seeking the wisdom that Stoicism offers in navigating the complexities of modern existence. 2. The core principles of Stoicism. At the heart of Stoicism lies a profound understanding of what it means to live a good life. While modern society often pushes us toward external achievements, wealth, fame, and recognition, the Stoics redirect our focus inward, urging us to cultivate inner virtues. But what are these virtues, and how can they guide us in our daily lives? The Stoics identified 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. Each serves as a pillar supporting a life of meaning and resilience. Let us explore how these virtues not only shape our personal growth, but also redefine the way we perceive friendships and solitude. Wisdom, the first virtue, teaches us to discern what truly matters. In the context of relationships, it reminds us to prioritize quality over quantity. Have you ever felt drained by superficial friendships that offer little more than fleeting moments of amusement? Wisdom helps us recognize that genuine connections are rare and require thoughtful cultivation. It guides us to seek friends who share our values and challenge us to grow. Courage, the second virtue, empowers us to face life's difficulties with bravery. In social settings, this might mean having the strength to walk away from toxic relationships or to stand firm in our values, even when they are unpopular. It takes courage to be alone, especially in a world that equates solitude with failure. Yet, as the Stoics remind us, solitude is not a punishment, but a choice, a space for self-discovery and empowerment. Justice, the third virtue, is about fairness and treating others with respect. It calls us to foster relationships rooted in mutual support and honesty. Are your friendships balanced, or do they leave you feeling exploited or undervalued? Justice compels us to nurture bonds that uplift both parties, ensuring that our interactions are guided by integrity. Finally, self-control is the virtue that helps us manage our desires and impulses. In a world full of distractions and temptations, self-control allows us to focus on what truly enriches our lives. It encourages us to resist the allure of shallow connections and instead invest our energy in meaningful relationships and personal growth. These virtues form the backbone of Stoicism, offering a framework for navigating life's complexities with grace and purpose. They remind us that our happiness does not depend on the number of friends we have, but on our commitment to living virtuously. Now I ask you, which of these virtues resonates most with your current journey? Have you embraced wisdom in your choices, or perhaps shown courage in standing alone? Reflect on how these principles can transform not only your friendships, but your entire outlook on life. If this exploration of Stoic virtues speaks to you, I invite you to like this video. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Which Stoic virtue do you find most challenging to practice, and why? Your reflections not only enrich our community, but also deepen your engagement with these timeless teachings. Let's continue this journey together, learning and growing with the wisdom of Stoicism as our guide. 3. Friendship in Stoicism, depth over breadth. What does it mean to have a true friend? In a world where connections are often made with a single click, the meaning of friendship has become diluted. But for the Stoics, friendship is far from a casual affair. It is a profound bond, built on virtue and mutual growth. A true friend, according to Stoicism, is someone who walks alongside us on the path of self-improvement, offering both support and challenge. Seneca, a philosopher who reflected deeply on friendship, wrote, "Friendship improves happiness and lessens misery by doubling our joy and dividing our grief." This insight captures the essence of what it means to share life with another person. True friends amplify our triumphs and help carry our burdens. They are not merely companions in leisure, but partners in life's most profound experiences. Yet, the Stoics warned against friendships formed for superficial reasons: status, convenience, or personal gain. Have you ever found yourself in a relationship where you felt like a means to an end rather than an equal partner? Such connections, according to Stoicism, lack the foundation of mutual respect and shared values. They may offer temporary satisfaction, but ultimately fail to nourish the soul. Instead, Stoics encourage us to seek friendships that align with our pursuit of virtue. A true friend is someone who challenges us to grow, who holds us accountable, and who celebrates our progress. This kind of friendship is rare, but its rarity is what makes it so valuable. As Seneca observed, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. This applies not only to material wealth, but to relationships as well. 1 or 2 virtuous friends can enrich our lives far more than 100 shallow acquaintances. Marcus Aurelius offered another perspective on the value of deep connections. In his Meditations, this balanced view of friendship challenges us to reconsider our priorities. Are we investing in relationships that help us grow, or are we merely collecting connections to fill a void? Do our friendships encourage us to live with greater wisdom, courage, and integrity, or do they distract us from our pursuit of virtue? As you reflect on your own relationships, consider their depth and alignment with your values. Are they helping you to become the person you strive to be? The Stoics remind us that true friendship is a treasure, but it is a treasure that requires care, discernment, and dedication to cultivate. 4. The value of solitude in personal growth. In the quiet moments of solitude, when the noise of the world fades, we find an opportunity to meet ourselves. It is here, away from the distractions of daily life, that personal growth begins. Yet, modern society often views solitude with suspicion, equating it with loneliness or social failure. Stoicism offers a different perspective. Solitude is not only valuable, but essential for cultivating inner strength and clarity. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations. Solitude provides a space for self-reflection, a chance to examine our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. It allows us to ask important questions. Are we living in alignment with our values? Are we pursuing goals that truly matter? Or are we chasing the approval of others? These moments of introspection help us to recalibrate, ensuring that our actions are guided by wisdom rather than impulse. Moreover, solitude fosters creativity. Many of history's greatest thinkers, from poets to inventors, credit their most profound insights to time spent alone. In solitude, the mind is free to wander, to explore new ideas without interruption. Have you ever noticed how clarity often comes during a quiet walk or in the stillness of the early morning? This is the gift of solitude, a space where inspiration can flourish. But the value of solitude goes beyond self-discovery and creativity. It also strengthens our relationships. When we spend time alone, we gain a better understanding of our needs, boundaries, and desires. This self-awareness enables us to engage more authentically with others. We approach our relationships not out of a need to fill an emotional void, but from a place of wholeness and mutual respect. Stoicism teaches us that solitude is not a state to be feared, but embraced. It is a tool for growth, a means of deepening our understanding of ourselves and the world. By seeking solitude, we cultivate resilience, clarity, and independence, qualities that enhance not only our own lives, but our connections with others. As you reflect on your relationship with solitude, consider its role in your life. Do you view time alone as an opportunity or a burden? The Stoics remind us that within the stillness of solitude lies the potential for profound transformation. Through this lens, solitude becomes not a retreat from life, but a vital part of living it fully. 5. Solitude does not equal loneliness. Many people conflate solitude with loneliness, believing that time spent alone is inherently a sign of isolation or unhappiness. But the Stoics challenge this assumption, teaching us that solitude and loneliness are not the same. In fact, solitude can be one of the most empowering experiences, while loneliness often arises from a disconnection within, not from a lack of people around us. Consider this. Have you ever felt alone in a crowd, surrounded by people yet deeply disconnected? Conversely, have you ever spent time alone and felt completely at peace, perhaps even inspired? Loneliness stems from a yearning for connection, often external, while solitude offers a deliberate choice to connect internally. Stoicism reminds us that true contentment comes from within, not from the presence or absence of others. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom applies to solitude. Society may label solitary individuals as lonely, but it is our interpretation of solitude that determines its value. When we view time alone as an opportunity for reflection, growth, and creativity, it becomes a powerful tool rather than a source of discomfort. Stoic thinkers like Seneca also highlight the importance of solitude for personal focus. He noted that those who dedicate time to their own improvement often appear to have fewer friends because their energy is directed inward. But this is not a sign of deficiency. It is a mark of purpose. Individuals who prioritize their growth often achieve great things, using solitude as a crucible for transformation. The key distinction is this: loneliness is a passive state, a feeling of emptiness when we lack connection. Solitude, on the other hand, is active. It is a choice to step back from the noise, to center ourselves, and to listen to the quiet wisdom within. The Stoics viewed solitude as a retreat for the soul, a necessary practice for those seeking to live virtuously and intentionally. How do you perceive your time alone? Do you dread it, or do you see it as an essential part of your journey? I encourage you to reflect on moments when solitude has served as a source of clarity or strength in your life. Share your thoughts in the comments. What lessons have you learned from embracing solitude? And if this resonates with you, consider liking this video to show your support for these timeless Stoic principles. Together, we can foster a community that values depth, reflection, and personal growth. 6. Strength and independence through fewer friendships. In a world that often celebrates outward displays of connection and camaraderie, there is a quiet strength in choosing to walk a different path. The Stoics believed that true independence is found not in the number of people around us, but in our ability to rely on ourselves. Having fewer friendships, especially those rooted in virtue, is not a weakness. It is a reflection of inner strength and clarity. When we examine the lives of those who dedicate themselves to personal growth, we often find a common thread: a focus on purpose over popularity. These individuals may not have large social circles, but their time is spent pursuing goals that align with their values. Whether it is studying, honing a craft, or engaging in self-improvement, their solitude serves a higher purpose. This is not loneliness, it is dedication. Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations. Moreover, fewer friendships often mean more meaningful ones. When we are selective about who we allow into our inner circle, we ensure that these relationships are built on mutual respect and shared values. These friendships, though few, provide deep emotional support and encouragement. They are a source of inspiration rather than distraction, guiding us toward our best selves. This kind of self-reliance also allows us to weather life's storms with grace. When challenges arise, those who have cultivated inner strength are less likely to be shaken. They do not look outward for rescue, but draw on their own reserves of wisdom and courage. Stoicism teaches that by mastering our minds and emotions, we become truly free, unshackled from the need for constant affirmation from others. As you consider your own life, ask yourself, do you feel at peace in your solitude? Do your relationships add value and align with your deeper goals, or do they simply fill the space? The Stoics encourage us to embrace independence, not as a rejection of others, but as an affirmation of our own inner power. In doing so, we cultivate a life rich in purpose, marked by the quiet confidence that comes from standing on solid ground. 7. Practical tips for balancing solitude and friendships. Navigating the balance between solitude and meaningful friendships is a challenge many of us face. While Stoicism encourages us to find strength within ourselves, it also acknowledges the importance of nurturing relationships that align with our pursuit of virtue. how do we strike this balance? Let us turn to practical Stoic principles that can guide us in both embracing solitude and fostering deep connections. First, self-awareness is key. The Stoics emphasize the importance of knowing oneself. Take time to reflect on your values, strengths, and goals. Ask yourself, what kind of relationships bring out the best in you? Which friendships align with your pursuit of wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control? When you understand your core principles, you can discern which connections to nurture and which to release. This self-awareness also helps you appreciate solitude, as it becomes a space for reinforcing your values and refining your character. Next, practice mindfulness in your interactions. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to be present and deliberate in his actions, including his relationships. When you engage with others, focus on the quality of those moments. Are your conversations meaningful? Do they challenge you to think deeply or act more virtuously? By being mindful, you create a foundation for relationships that enrich rather than drain you. Setting boundaries is another essential practice. Seneca advised that we should guard our time and energy carefully. Just as we would not allow anyone to squander our wealth, we should not let others dictate how we spend our time. This means saying no to social obligations that do not align with your priorities and valuing the time you spend alone for introspection and growth. When you do seek out friendships, look for like-minded individuals who share your values. These are the people who will inspire you and help you grow. Epictetus spoke of the importance of surrounding ourselves with those who encourage us to live virtuously. Seek friends who challenge you to be better, who provide honest feedback, and who celebrate your progress. These connections, though fewer, will be far more rewarding. Finally, embrace solitude as a time for personal development. Use this time to journal, meditate, or pursue activities that align with your goals. Solitude is not merely a break from socializing, it is an active engagement with your inner self. Through solitude, you cultivate the resilience and clarity needed to face life's challenges with stoic composure. Balancing solitude and friendships requires intention and discipline. It is not about retreating from the world, but about engaging with it on your terms, guided by your values. As you reflect on these practices, consider how they might help you create a life that is both rich in meaning and grounded in inner peace. With these practical tips, we move toward the conclusion of our journey. In the final section, we will revisit the lessons of Stoicism and reflect on how they can transform not only our view of friendships and solitude, but our entire approach to life. Stay with us for a closing reflection that ties together the profound wisdom we've explored. 8. Historical examples of Stoic thought on friendship and solitude. The principles of Stoicism are not abstract ideas. They are grounded in the lived experiences of some of history's most influential thinkers. Through their writings and actions, Stoic philosophers like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus demonstrated how to navigate the complexities of human relationships and the transformative power of solitude. Their lives offer timeless lessons for those seeking balance between connection and independence. Seneca, a statesman and advisor to Emperor Nero, often reflected on the nature of friendship in his letters. Despite his involvement in the political sphere, Seneca understood the importance of choosing friends wisely. He wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve." For Seneca, friendships were not mere social conveniences. They were partnerships in virtue. He believed that true friends should help each other grow in wisdom and character. This perspective challenges us to consider, are our relationships helping us become better people? Seneca also emphasized the necessity of solitude. Amid the chaos of Roman political life, he found solace in retreating to his study to reflect and write. In one of his letters, he noted, "One can be instructed in society, one is inspired only in solitude." This insight speaks to the creative and spiritual renewal that solitude can bring. For Seneca, time alone was not an escape, but a deliberate practice to cultivate inner strength and clarity. Marcus Aurelius, as both a Roman emperor and a philosopher, lived a life that demanded constant engagement with others. Yet his meditations reveal a man deeply committed to introspection and solitude. He often reminded himself to seek refuge within his own mind, writing, "People seek retreats for themselves, in the country, by the sea, in the hills. But nowhere can a person find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in their own soul." For Marcus, solitude was a sanctuary, a place to reconnect with his values and find peace amid the pressures of leadership. His ability to balance the demands of public life with private reflection offers a powerful example for those of us striving to maintain our equilibrium in a busy world. Epictetus, a former slave who rose to become one of the most respected Stoic teachers, highlighted the importance of self-reliance. He taught that true freedom comes not from external circumstances but from mastery over one's thoughts and reactions. "No man is free who is not master of himself," he declared. This philosophy shaped his views on relationships. While he acknowledged the value of companionship, Epictetus warned against becoming overly dependent on others for emotional support. Instead, he urged his students to cultivate their inner resources, finding strength and contentment within themselves. These historical figures remind us that the Stoic path is one of balance. Friendships are valuable, but they should be chosen with care and rooted in mutual growth. Solitude is equally important, providing the space for self-reflection and renewal. By following their example, we can navigate the complexities of modern life with the wisdom and resilience that Stoicism offers. As we prepare to conclude, let us reflect on how these lessons can be applied to our lives. How can we integrate the wisdom of Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus into our daily routines? In the final section, we will tie together these insights, exploring how the Stoic perspective on friendships and solitude can lead to a life of greater fulfillment and purpose. As we have journeyed through the Stoic perspective on friendships and solitude, one truth emerges clearly. The measure of a life well lived lies not in the number of friends we have, but in the depth of our character and the quality of our connections. In a society that often prioritizes external validation, Stoicism offers a liberating alternative. It teaches us to seek strength within ourselves and to approach relationships with intentionality and virtue. We have seen how Stoic thinkers like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus embraced solitude not as a burden, but as a source of renewal and clarity. They recognized that time spent alone is an opportunity to reconnect with our values, to reflect on our actions, and to grow. Solitude becomes a space where we prepare ourselves to engage more meaningfully with the world, bringing greater depth to our friendships and interactions. At the same time, Stoicism reminds us of the profound value of true friendship. Such relationships, grounded in mutual respect and shared pursuit of virtue, offer support and inspiration. They help us navigate life's challenges and celebrate its joys. But these connections are rare, and their rarity only enhances their worth. It is far better to have a few friendships that uplift and challenge us than to be surrounded by many superficial ties. In embracing the Stoic path, we learn to let go of the societal pressure to amass friends and followers. Instead, we focus on what truly matters, living a life of virtue, cultivating meaningful connections, and finding contentment within ourselves. This shift in perspective allows us to experience greater peace and fulfillment, free from the relentless pursuit of external validation. Now, as you reflect on the insights shared in this journey, consider how you can apply them to your own life. Which relationships bring you closer to your values? How can you use solitude to strengthen your character and clarify your goals? Stoicism challenges us to take responsibility for our own happiness, reminding us that true wealth lies not in what we possess, but in who we are. If this exploration has resonated with you, we invite you to join our community by subscribing to this channel. Share your thoughts in the comments. What has been your experience with balancing solitude and friendships? And if you found value in this discussion, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might benefit from these timeless Stoic principles. Thank you for being part of this journey. May the wisdom of Stoicism guide you toward a life of purpose, resilience, and inner peace. Until next time, take care and continue striving for virtue in all you do.